An interview to a leading German economic daily, the External Affairs Minister Dr. S Jaishankar strongly defended India's relationship with Russia. This at a time when Europe is pushing for an end to the war in Ukraine. Asked whether the Indo-Russian relationship is a burden on the India-Europe relationship, Dr. Jaishankar said everyone conducts a relationship based on their past experiences. If I look at the history of India post-independence, Russia has never hurt our interests. We have had a stable and always very friendly relationship with Russia, and our relationship with Russia today is based on this experience. Now, asked whether India would have liked more support from Europe during the 2020 standoff with China, Dr. Jaishankar said, my point is, just as I do not expect Europe to have a view of China that's identical to mine, Europe should understand that I cannot have a view of Russia that is identical to the Europe one. Let us accept there are natural differences in relationships. The foreign minister also pointed out that European countries had made exceptions with Russia on the supply of pipeline gas from Russia despite the ongoing war in Europe. Well, let's go across to Vishnu for more on this. And Vishnu, strong statements from Dr. Jaishankar and also an example of, the balancing act India has to do.
No, exactly right, Gargi. Very strong statements. He was speaking in Munich on the sidelines of the Munich Security Conference. And this is something that's come up in the past as well when he's been asked on what India is doing to ensure that sanctions against Russia works. Now, India will have no truck with European policies as far as sanctions are concerned because we have an independent foreign policy which works in our interest with regard to Europe and with regard to Russia. And of course, India wants an end to the conflict in Ukraine. That's something that the government has made very clear. However, Dr. Jaishankar has time and time again made it clear that there are natural differences. And I think the one statement he made, for example, on India's equation with China or the situation which India faced in 2020 is interesting. And he said, my point is, just as I do not expect Europe to have a view of China that is identical to mine, Europe should understand that I cannot have a view of Russia that is identical to the European one. So that's essentially what India's policy is. But it's something he says time and time again. And I think the other key part was when he said, without using the word double standards, that, there was continued pipeline supply of gas from Russia as well to some European nations. So it was, it wasn't entirely fair for some European nations, several of them, in fact, to accuse India of not doing enough as far as sanctions against Russia are concerned.
All right. Thanks so much, Vishnu, for joining us with that. So, Dr. Jaishankar's strong comments to a German newspaper there.